as I've been rewatching the Zexal anime, I've gotten to thinking more and more about the number monsters and how, kind of understandably, a lot of them fell into obscurity, both in the anime and especially in the real-life card game, because a lot of them weren't really anything special, either to Yuma or effect-wise. You had a couple of, crazy outliers, I'm pretty sure, what was it, number 24, Shockmaster? I think it pulled some things because it had a pretty insane effect, but a lot of them were pretty obscure after the fact. But one monster I definitely hate that this happened to was number 17, Leviathan Dragon. Both because I love its name and design, and because it's so many firsts for the Zexal era. And yet, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have an upgraded form. It didn't get a retrain. It doesn't even have an alt art. Which is insane to me because it's the first Xyz monster we see actually used in a duel in the Zexal anime. We see a couple others in the background of some scenes, but it's the first one where we really see it being used in the duel. It is the very first number we ever see, even before Utopia, and it is the cover card for the first Zexal-themed set. I think its name was Generation Force. So all of that, and they don't give it anything after the fact. I don't even know if it appears in any, card arts that reference it or the other numbers. And it's just, so insane to me that, it hasn't gotten anything given all of the attention that it got when Zexal was first airing, and how often Yuma summoned it throughout the early bits of Season 1 of Zexal. And I think there's a lot of places you could take this, because it is a very early generic Xyz monster. One idea I had was I was making some retrains for Yuma if he had appeared in the Arc 5 anime. You know how they play similar archetypes but slightly different. And I turned Leviathan Dragon into a Zexal weapon. It's still an Xyz monster, but I call it Zexal weapon number 17, Leviathan Dragon. And I think you could do something similar in the real life card game where you give it a retrain that is direct support for Utopia. And I think that would make a lot of sense since it was one of Yuma's first number monsters. I also think you could still just straight up give it an upgraded form of some kind, like Chaos number 17, Ancient Leviathan Dragon, or something along those lines. I think there's a lot of places you could take it in terms of a retrain or an upgraded form, and I think it's a shame that they just haven't, because of it being a very, at least to me, it was a very early iconic monster for Zexal. It's literally one of the first monsters I think of whenever I think of the Zexal anime. So I think it deserves something. But let me know what you guys think, and what would you do with Leviathan Dragon if you were to give it an upgrade?